Game number 12 of this playoff 16 between Papipo and Anatan. Papipo up at 8 points, but there is still hope. There is still a chance. There is still a way of believing that Anatan can make it a draw of 8 wins to 8 wins. He picked Mongols. Go game 13. So I think this has remained one of Mongols' hardest matchups for a very, 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 very long time now. It actually has been a very hard matchup ever since Delhi players discovered that actually just using your Scholar and Dark Age to heal means you can stop outpost rushes entirely. The only hope is if a Mongol player gets a glorious spawn for trade. And in fairness to him, Anatan has ticked that box. He has at least got the long trade. In unfairness to him, he's going to be trying to trade in a game where you are up against cavalry. Cavalry that can very easily raid you. In fact, this matchup, I'm pretty sure historically has always favored Delhi. Delhi right now in this matchup, at the highest level play, funnily enough, at a 23% win rate, I don't trust that crap. Because, like, who's actually playing Delhi, right? If we go back, I'm curious actually, if we go back to like, let's say September 26, 2023, which is before the new civs got added, Delhi versus Mongols, 38.3 again. Honestly, like, this is proof that you just can't trust pub stats. This is proof that the only people really picking Delhi on the ladder definitely ain't the players that are winning with it in tournaments. Because this matchup, I would say, is like 80% favored towards Delhi. It's hard, man. Like, you'd think Keshiks would be able to, like, just beat Ghazi Mass on their own, but the difficulty is scaling it. Like, you know, what you need to build Ghazi is just at home. What you need to build Keshiks involves trade. So we'll see how Anatan does. I mean, he has some very interesting builds we've seen in the past. I hate some very cool timings around, like, how he scales his archer mass in the early feudal age that might be his saving grace. It's just difficult in this matchup because you're going to have a 2-unit comp, right? And if it turns into Ghazi Archer versus Keshik Archer, there's going to be a lot more Ghazi, and the archers are going to be just notably better than your own archers, right? Courtesy of this building right here. Tower of Victory, a building that even the wildlife believes in. You saw the way they stared at that. They're like, we're going to win today. I won't be alive for it because you're going to eat my mutton ass. But we will win. Silver Tree now coming on the other side. I still think Silver Tree is a little bit overrated. It's kind of required in this matchup, though. There are some matchups where I just genuinely think people are sleeping on Deerstone, but this one I wholly forgive. I don't think you can go another way about it. Oh, let's remember, we can do predictions. I remember this time! All right, let's get it out there. So who will win? Mongols or Delopes? All right, there you go, guys. Get your predictions in. Whoops, that was perfect timing. We will see the outcome of the predictions after you guys have clicked on the Protein Works link and it gets out of the way. It only gets out of the way if you actually go through and use my code. Sorry, that's the way it works. Hey, look, someone done it. So, build-wise, what are we looking at here? I think Anatan has to immediately open with Keshiks. Or you go Spears. But if you're going Spears, you're already inherently playing defense. And it's a very long map to defend. Like, sometimes long trade is bad trade because, in a way, like, if you go Spearman here, there's too much ground to cover, right? Ghazi will always weave in. Meanwhile, Papipo, you know, I've already said what it's going to be. It has to be Ghazi here. What the f... Someone just banked 102k points on Delhi. All right, so we are believing Anatan now. That's too many push-ups for my liking. Scout complete. All right, yeah. I am here for the party. Did you guys just see that? I mean, Anno hasn't scouted the Southside trade, but like he's going for the North one. That's crafty, I think. I have a feeling that like Papipo is gonna suspect Southside trade, right? I don't know. My brain immediately thought Southside, right? And Papipo has scouted both trade posts. This will give it away, though. The fact he's moving Southside guarantees that he's going. Are you? Is this guy insane? This is so greedy. Is Anatan going for diagonal trade? Guys, he's actually going for diagonal trade. What? In a game against what you know is going to be Ghazi spam, he's trying to do diagonal trade. Alright, this is a first. Someone in the last game said that the last game was so 3DB-esque out of Anatan. Well, guess what? It's happening again. Who needs 3DB when you've got My Insanity's Anatan? What a wacky idea. Like, how much gold does that generate? I don't think I've really seen many people do diagonal trade, so I never clocked the numbers. It has to be... Is it 90 each way? It must be. What a wild idea. Keshiks have now been queued up. Triple pasture build as well. So Anatan fully aware that this is going to involve quite a lot of heavy cap pump. And he's got some catching up to do already. I mean, his opponent is already up to 3 Ghazi. You need to have basically like 1 Keshik for every 2 Ghazi, and that might even be hard. He's going to get taken out. Oh, right and blind for the next 2 minutes is dangerous. And wait. That's so dirty. He was just sitting here waiting for it. 131 gold instantly. Wait, is he actually going to micro them all the way around the corners of the map to do trade? This is so cool. I actually don't think I've seen someone do it like this. I mean, it's very risky, but like, you know, compared to running through the center of the map, you know, you're kind of... The best way I can describe it is it's kind of like you're gambling instead of just suiciding. You know what I mean? Where it's like there's a risk you do get spotted, right? You do get scouted. But it's so hard to scout you. Imagine the APM needed for this. Yeah, Farman, I think maybe just stick to the white tower build. Oh, my boy. I know, Chad. So actually, I think, yeah, the way you do this is you scout, like you trade to here, and then you come down to your base, and then go across. That's the optimal route, because that's the one you can safeguard. And by the way, that wasn't a small amount of gold. 133 gold, that's 1.5 Keshiks from that play. What a sick read. I know, right now it does have enough Keshiks to scare away the Ghazi indefinitely. Archers are being built up behind this. And funnily enough, Puppy Paw has to be scratching his head right now. Because like he just checked the trade post and still saw nothing. Like, I feel so bad for Puppy Paw. Because this is like Mr. levels of debating in his mind, right? He thinks what Anatan has done here has been like, hey, look at this silver tree. I'm trading, bro. And then Puppy was like, oh, okay, I'll go intercept the trade. Wait a second. You're not really trading. Oh! Though he is. The most elaborate trade route. Oh, what a cool play. I mean, it's only one trader right now. But this could scale. I think his goal is obviously to just win the mid-map so that he doesn't have to worry about microing like this, because it is very distracting. Especially when you're running Keshiks like this. Especially when the Khan isn't here. Puppy Paw, by the way, did lose his scout. Wait, is he going fast castle? Huh? I mean, this is where you queue up traders ASAP. If he doesn't want to come out and play, right? What? This is a very unexpected turn from Puppy Paw. I mean, I get it, right? Like, he's outnumbered. Look at the numbers right now. There's more Keshiks than there are Ghazi. That's a losing formula. I know he's going to back up. He already got undermesh as well. Dude, there's so many small details that Anno done that's so smart here. Like, the fact that he went for Keshiks, done the initial trade, waited for it, then went for undermesh in like a rush reaction here. Right? These archers do nothing. Even with the +1, like, they feel like they're tickling, right? They're only doing 2 damage each. His timing got kind of crippled by this element that Anatan threw in, and now the follow-up archers coming from behind. I mean, it's baiting Puppy Paw, right? He's overreacting to the spears now to counter this, which means he's not going to build as many Ghazis due to the Keshiks. So So it's just all about Anatan just trying to find a very crafty way of doing a 1-1 build while Puppy Paw is stuck on a 1-1-1. And what that means is, like, if you get the read right and you bait your opponent to, like, mis-skew his balance so that it's less anti-archer, you can win with a 2-comp element against a 3-comp element. And right now, like, with the way Puppy Paw is, like, investing, I think maybe we're just looking at way too many spears here. Is it too many archers? I think it's probably too many archers. Like, could you just win with Ghazi spears here? Maneuver speed arrow makes it a bit dicey, but outside that, I could see that working. The trader is still going back all the way across. Little Johnny here has been doing the heavy lifting. Puppy Paw's army is still substantially bigger. It looks like he wasn't trying to tech up. He was just trying to protect himself against raids, which is actually very fair here. Military-wise, Puppy Paw is ahead, but like the army quality is very different here. It's actually doubly deceptive because this army value alone doesn't tell the full tale. Not because it's just capture rage lying, which can happen a lot. But the bigger issue is that the infantry element of the Delhi is 20% more efficient, right? They're better archers, they're better spearmen. So you have to compensate for that as well. So you basically have to give them, like, what, an extra 12 units? So, yeah. Because, like, 30 of it is infantry, right? Roughly. And then if you add in the 20% from the attack speed, you're adding in an extra 12. It's a pretty sizey lead. That's why, for anyone who's like, why do I keep losing to Delhi? You're probably having that experience where you're like, huh? Militarily, we're mirrored. I shouldn't be losing this. And it's like, oh, wait. Oops. Is a lie. They actually out-quality me. Double trade line approach? No, I just don't think trade is like the way you win. It's baiting your opponent to reacting to the trade. And then just maximizing the small lead you get. Like, Anatan is actually in a really good position. 55 to 45 military. I really like his comp as it's coming out. He just needs to wait for Steeled Arrow. Smart move by Puppy Paw trying to go in for the pincher. Does at least get one of the Keshiks. This count is kind of spooky. It's very dangerous because, like, he's trying to hide just how big on archers he is. What he's trying to do is force Puppy Paw to add in a lot more spears, but this kid, like, nothing gets by him. Well, bar Johnny the Trader. Johnny the Trader has gotten every way he wants to be. But any other detail about this game, Puppy Paw is fully informed about, right? Like, he's not getting baited into mass spears, which is how Anatan would have won this. Now Sacred Sight's getting locked in. Walls coming up as well. Anno, oh, this is a perfect fight. Puppy Paw, after all the praise, has he misstepped? It's tough. You can see Anatan, a little bit of hesitation coming in here. You know, the walls are there creating weird choke points. He doesn't want to try to dance with that. He wants easy wins. He doesn't want to take risky wins. Because while we can see that Puppy Paw's second wave isn't nearby, from Anatan's perspective, everything could just be sitting right behind that. He wants to see 5, 10 units caught out. That's what he wants to snipe. Keshiks riding in here. Spear count at 15. Movement speed arrow was activated pretty early here. Archer's just trying to start a step it back. Really needs to find their way on the spears, but it's difficult with the Ghazi getting in the way like this. Keshik's having to commit. Spear count holding strong. 16 of them left over. The Ghazis are actually absorbing everything here. Way too many Keshiks lost, and Anatan. Not only is it a stroll to try and get the win here, but behind this, Puppy Paw now teching up. There's an opening, and Anatan needs to take it. If this turns into a stalemate, it's just going to turn into a loss to the Mongols. Keshik count now down to 17. I mean, he's done such a great job of trying to remain competitive here, but Puppy Paw just coming over the top with this surge forward. The Ghazi always just blocking the shots on the spearmen. And now, it's a struggle to see how Anatan is going to punish this. Keshik count down to 14. Spears, still enough left over to buffer this away. Archer count has been heavily reduced, sure. But the tech up behind him, Anatan now has to light a fire under his own arse to try and win this. There's no dialing it back. There's no turning around. He needs to attack. Puppy Paw just needs to back up A few knights is all it now takes to break this. Remember, Anatan went for a very powerful 1-1 build instead of the 3 corners of the triangle. What does this mean? It means if Puppy Paw just gets one wave of lances out, Anatan is going to struggle. You can even see he's trying to compensate now by going back for spears, but this is going to be a delayed arrival on the front line. Crossbows also queued up. Breakthrough, and Anatan needs to go. Look at how focused he was on getting the optimal timing. Caught by the defender outside the base. Keshik's riding in now. I know. Missing opportunity here. He could have went the right side. He could have found a lot of eco. Instead, he dives into the tree line where he knows he'll safely find economy. Puppy Paw forced to defend, but considering we've got Lancers now out and crossbows joining the fray, this is a fight doomed to fail for Anatan. Oh, come on! Just stop. No. All right. He says, no, I'm not going up, I'm going in. Puppy Paw. Idled on the wood line now, but I mean, wood's not what you need here, right? He needs food and gold. Anatan with this dive is kind of giving Puppy Paw an opportunity to recover, but it's getting harder, man. Like a dog with a bone, he just won't let go. Anatan's diving hardcore in here. Keshik still outnumbering the initial lances, although the number difference is getting smaller in the base. We've got a second wave on the way. Once the spearmen are here, the lancers will fail. Considering the archers are already removed, Puppy Paw is on the verge of being defeated. I know, just needs to get in deeper and mop up everything left here, and then turn for the villagers. I can't believe this. A 16 eco lead now, an entire age behind. Just a minute ago, it looked implausible, the idea that Anatan could punish this. But Anno, with the way the meta functions right now, with the way players have evolved their playstyle, just reminding us that just because someone goes Castle Age doesn't mean you have to do it as well. Doesn't mean you cannot win from an age behind. Because right now, he is dunking from the Feudal Age. He is running out of gas, though. He needs to find that economy. Keshiks are leaking in, but come on. Puppy Paw gets what he needs. That castle is the world to Puppy Paw now. This is what was missing. That read to go into the stone when his base was being dove was pristine. Anatan, I think he has to go castle now. I mean, you've done substantial damage, right? It's not a shame to go Castle Age at this point. Just decap the Sacred Sites, play an age up, and accept this game's going a bit deeper. Because with how long this has been going on, Village Fortresses is on the way to being complete. The first keep is up and you now know it. So by denting this base, by headbutting it, all you now stand to do is lose yourself the game. And I think he knows it as well. Sacred Sites being targeted. Trade now being scaled. What an insane game. Just like Anatan just got a second wind, right? Like last game was incredible, but this one, a game that felt like it should have been over. The way he found a path through this is not easy for even the best of players. And he goes step read out. That's kind of incredible, right? Like Kurotai feels like a no-brainer here, but the thing I always say about Kurotai is Kurotai requires an army. And with the way he dove the enemy base, he doesn't have much of one left, right? So I actually don't disagree with the idea. This also will give him the additional gold influx he needs to surge premium units. Usually in a game like this, you're like 15 to 20 traders deep. He's only 4. So he can't really afford to go Kurotai here. He wouldn't be able to stand an army. On top of that, by going for step readout, he'll now have the gold influx to spam traders. It's a really heads-up play, actually. A lot of players wouldn't make this choice. I've seen so many players with 15 military go Kurotai. And it looks like a meme. It's like, why? You literally have nothing to buff. I mean, in theory, it's great, right? It's one of those classics where it's like, oh, when I have 120 military, this will be good. It's like, yeah, but you have to get there. It's like when people tell you that, like, 25 mangonels is OP. It's like, well, why did you let him get 25 mangonels? Or like when someone goes, 80 Streltsy is really OP. It's like, yeah, but he has to get there. Oh, my favorite. 120 Cataphract are broken. Yeah, but how? Like, why have you got 120 Cataphract? Do I need a ban farm, man? I'm not reading that comment out. Castle drop coming in. Puppy Paw about to go up to free TC, because guess what? Village Fortress is on the way in 35 seconds. I actually think Puppy Paw needs one more keep. And he needs it just on the central gold. If he drops a keep here, Anatan's dead. because his eco situation is dire, right? Like, he won't be able to rely on trade to boom up, so he'll only have villages. Step 3 down now, moving out for that central gold as well. Poppyport needs to get some food, man. This is really bad. 0 food income is someone I never want to see. We already saw it a few times this series, and it broke my heart. Like, feed your people, dude. Farms are coming in, so we'll have some permanent food down the line. If Anantan just preps for siege now, he can break these castles in time, right? Like, Poppyport does not have an army. We do have siege engineering improved as well. And here we go. Traction traps on the way. Chef's kiss, man. Traction traps, not something we see very often, right? But ever since Step Readout died, I think that kind of had an impact on it. Wallow's going to be a whiff. It looks like Poppyport is actually getting blocked on a lot of the relics right now. So free in the mid-map. Actually, someone that Anno can just target down. I don't think he's going to rush to pick them up himself. Theoretically, you can with the Step Readout, but it's all about making sure that you get the maximum traction trebuchets out. Like, while Poppyport does not have a melee army, you need to prep your siege. Because if you wait 3 or 4 minutes to do traction trebuchets, your opponent is just going to come out with like 10 lances or maybe mass men-at-arms. In fact, I want to see him go up to like 5. 5's really fast here. Traction trebuchets are pretty pathetic when you talk about the damage, right? It's 240 per strike. They're not quick killers. They do have decent attack speed, right? Like, it's 8.62 compared to, I think it's like 30. Is it 13? On normal trebs? I think it's something like that. It's really stupidly high. I actually forgot how pathetically underwhelming traction trebuchets look. Can we just agree? This is like, you know, when you want to make like a cool catapult, and this is the equivalent of like, how would I describe it? It's like, you know, when someone makes that little kid catapult that comes out of a McDonald's toy or something. Full traction trebuchets. I mean, this is going to be enough to break through, right? The problem now you have with your Poppyport is you're now repairing with 5 villages. This is already a negative. You're spending way too much stone to repair. Once you go past 3 villages, you spend more stone to repair. Or more wood, or whatever it is you're repairing with, right? So like the optimal level is to be at 3. But you need so many now. 4 tribes hitting in. Keshik's on the flank. Crossbows are trickling out here. Remember, these guys do have the Tower Victory. They're deceptively good. I wonder, does Anno just consider going into a Mango here? Poppyport is brazenly going Ghazi. Does he know he's against spears? No. It's actually been hidden from him. Oh, that's kind of vicious, right? Like, you really do expect crossbows here, but when you see Keshiks, you probably aren't thinking spearmen. So that's actually a really smart read by Anatan. Trade count, by the way, has not boomed at all. That eco lead is raw off of the damage done earlier. And the castles have fallen. Poppyport down to just 2 TC effective. Next castle can easily be targeted as well. You can just sit in this choke point and treb it. There's no easy backstab here because of the positioning. In fact, right now, I'd say actually what Poppyport needs to do is take the few guards he has and go to the enemy base. Hit the economy right now, because if you're trying to build up a big enough army to contest the main, you're just dooming yourself to failure. Raid on the deer. Poppyport. Oh, you're not getting out of here. Oh, wait, what? He doesn't even try to build the wall. Wait, what? Instead, he deletes it and runs on through. Big mistake made there in the panic. And all of a sudden, the eco lead bulking up. Trebs, in the meantime, are now hitting the castle. I mean, there's no way you can afford to repair this right now. Like, right, if at this stage, you're struggling to get an army together. If you have to now pull 5 villages to repair, it's not just 5 villages idle. It's then the extra cost associated with that. That, you know, you are not just idling 5 villages. It's then whatever the value of that is in terms of gathering that you're compromising, right? That's always the deceptive thing about repairing. When people think repairing's OP, just think about that. It's not just how many villages you've idled up for them to repair. It's the fact that also additional Tom and Dick and Harrys who've been gathering all day and night and hoping to go home to Mama and Papa, like, their work has just been burnt. That's crossbows from Puppy Paw. I guess it's all he can really afford. I know now going for the second TC, getting a bit cheeky here. I hope he gets some full production. I think it's so underrated. You never see it out of Mongols because they're so fixated on at home with Uvus. But like mid-map production here would be sick. I know, needs to recalibrate his economy as well. A lot of gold, not much else. I would just love to see double mango. You've already got siege engineering improved. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oy, oy, oy. Villagers on the backside. In trouble. Crossbows are going to be able to get some kills. The castle is being built up on the farm, so this is going to be Puppy Paw getting his permanent food economy going, but it's going to come at a cost. Anatan now over 20 villages ahead. Remember, this keep shouldn't really be safe, but looks like the traction trebs did actually get taken out. It's a big mistake made there, being compromised. We'll love to push away the spears. I can't believe we're like 26 minutes into this game and there's still 2 relics up for grabs. It should end up being a 3-2 split though, right? Anatan's got 1 safe back here. Puppy Paw's got 1 safe back here. Crazy game. Military Academy now on the way, and it looks like we've got to switch into mass archers. It's not the worst of ideas. Better raiding unit than crossbows. Your opponent has built crossbows, and archers do actually counter that. They're more cost efficient. I hope that is a misclick and not an intent. Like, I don't think I ever want to see Maga die. Not in this game, anyway. I think Anatan, yeah, there we go. Like, he's focused on this archer idea, and I like it to kind of bulk your forces, but, like, mangoes are just the easiest win. I'm wondering, does he just go Imperial Age here, actually? Alright, guys, hear me out. Hear me out. You know what I'm going to say, and you don't like Karnat. Build the... No, he's not going to do Karnat here. His incomes are too good for Karnat. You get so much more value out of White Stupa when you're eco-stable like this. I would love to see him build the White Stupa in the center, though, for the double production. Instead, of course, it's got to be at the pastures, hasn't it? Yeah, I think, like, kind of makes sense if you're doing, like, some weird Imperial Age rush. But when your economy is inflated to, like, 110, I just don't see as much value in it. White Stupa just feels a lot better. Because you should have enough eco to really benefit from all this constant, like, ramping, right? You can afford to spam outposts. You can afford to get cannon placements. You can afford all these bonus upgrades you get by, you know, like blacksmiths, for example, going into things like the elite army tactics improved. Nice attempt there. Blind mango shots coming in. Actually, the follow-up might hit. Ooh. Whoops! Oh, Anatan is such a cheeky git. Let's give a switch over to the other side. Tech up is now complete then. Puppy Paw is kind of hard to duck here, right? He's got another caster coming up. He's just trying to reboom the eco. That's going to be him up to, what, 4 TC effective? Because that's the 4 TC via the fact he's got 3 keeps. Trade still hasn't been booming, by the way. Like, we're up to 10, which isn't too bad, but that's not even... I think he's only just reached the full effect of the Silver Tree, right? As soon as he reaches it, it gets blocked out anyway, as Ghazi are now hitting here. It looks like we are going to get a focus on archers. Incendiary arrows and elite archers coming in. Bombard's also queued up, so that's the thing to blitzkrieg through this. How does Puppy Paw now win this? Ghazi are very powerful in the late game. I will give them the credit they are due. But it's very food expensive. And you have, what, 25 farms? Okay, 46. That's higher than I expected, actually. Credit to him. Yeah, I missed that farm cluster there. But I think it's only operating about 30 farms right now, if I'm not mistaken. It says 59 food, but yeah, 23 villages out here. So a lot of it is like, not on the farms right now. And you still have to age up on top of that. You still have to wait for the Ghazi. Like, it's kind of one of those rough things. Because you don't have mass scholars, you actually need to address the gold first. He has got gold at home, so it's feasible to get up to 20 scholars. I just don't think you can go Imperial Age on any less than like 15 scholars. Otherwise, your techs just take 2. Bombards. Now moving in. That's going to be a castle down. It means the right side is going to be exposed. Unless he can get some springles out here, but yes, we have a siege workshop. It's not producing anti-siege though, which I don't blame him for, right? You can't build anti-siege when you're an age behind. It's a huge disadvantage. Ball's going to break. Poppy Pool looking to march forward. Double Mango in for the wallop though. Men-Arms frontline already heavily dented. In fact, the reload comes in. The backline now threatened here. Poppy Pool needs to start backing up. Frontline's already been lost. I believe, what was that? The attack speed arrow getting activated there, so Archer's going to be able to mop this up. And now, I mean, this is just a fight I don't think you can win. Incendiary arrows is already there. The elite Archer's already more tanky. And crossbows already attack slower. Yeah, this is where the death spiral begins. This game is pretty much over, bar Anatan hitting the delete key on the entire army. Even then, I think he could rebolt quicker. And Poppy Paw knows it. GG! Anatan with the second wind.